Part 4 is about the IEP. The multidisciplinary evaluation team is part of the evaluation and reevaluation process to determine eligibility for special education services. A minimum of 2 people are responsible for evaluating a student suspected of having a disability, and this team includes at least 1 special education teacher or other specialist who has knowledge of the suspected disability. As part of determining eligibility, when the evaluations are done, the MET holds a meeting to look at the results and determine if the child meets the eligibility requirements. The MET report will then be presented to the IEP team. Eligibility must be reviewed every 3 years through the same process. Review of existing evaluation data typically begins with a review of existing evaluation data on the child, which may include the child's classroom work, any standardized assessments, or information provided by the parents. The purpose of this review is to decide if the existing data is sufficient to establish the child's eligibility and determine educational needs, or if additional information is needed. It is not required for a REED to be completed in a formal meeting. Members may meet individually or in small groups to review existing data in their area of expertise. Inclusive education planning tools focus on changing teacher practice and the learning environment. It begins with a classroom assessment and aims to benefit all learners. It requires collaborating with parents to identify and ensure a mutual understanding of student strengths and needs, and requires progress to be documented through reports. The initial IEP takes place within 30 days of the evaluation meeting determining eligibility under IDEA, and a transition plan is the section of the IEP that outlines transition goals and services for the student. The transition plan is based on the student's individual needs, strengths, skills, and interest. Annual reviews are meetings to develop, review, and revise a student's IEP. Although IEPs can be reviewed and revised anytime throughout the year, most are reviewed again close to the 1-year expiration date. Reevaluation IEPs typically take place every 3 years to determine whether a child is or continues to be a child with a disability that qualifies for services under IDEA. A manifestation determination is a process required by IDEA, which is conducted when considering the exclusion of a student with a disability that constitutes a change of placement. At these hearings, they decide if the consistent change of placements were due to factors of the child's disability. IDEA includes rules of procedure for resolving disputes between parents and schools. These rules include mediation, due process hearings, and appeals to state or federal court, and due process hearings are usually formal trials. IEP addendums are meetings used when teams need to revise the original IEP by updating the appropriate sections with new information. When this happens, regular reports to parents are required to provide a mechanism to monitor the student's progress toward the annual goals and to evaluate the effectiveness of the student's special education services.